Hi everyone, so in this lesson we are going to learn what is a string class. So we have studied about object-oriented programming and we know what is the meaning of a class. So string is inbuilt class, but we can use string as if it is a data type. So what do I mean by data type? So basically what you can do, you can write something like this. String, data type, the name is S and let's say ABC. So here string is behaving as a data type. That's why I told you that we can use string as a data type. Simple. So string actually behaves like the character array. But what is the problem with the character array? So the problem is basically we have to always take care of null character. So this character. But this is not the problem with strings. So let's see how we can use strings. So let us create a string S, let's say it is containing ABC, and then you can print your string. So let's see. So ABC is getting printed. Now you can also do like this. So let us create one more string S2, and you can write like this. So S2 is DEF, and now let us print S2. So ABC and DEF. So basically you can also create your string dynamically. So here we are creating strings statically. Let us now create string dynamically. So string star string pointer, this is new string. And now let us give the value. So star SP, let's say it is MNO. Now what will be my output if I print SP? So the output will be address. If you want to print the content, you have to use star SP, and then you will get the content. So let's see. So this is the address and this is the content. So you have to give star for printing the content, and if you will not give the dereference operator, it will print the address. So addresses are stored in hexadecimal format. Now suppose you want to store multiple strings. So in that case, if you do not know string, how will you store multiple strings? So you have to create a 2D array of characters. So char A, and then you have to create a 2D array of characters, 100 cross 100, and in this 100 cross 100 basically your first string will be stored here, 0 to 99, then your second string, then your third string, and so on. So this is not a good way. The good way is, what you can do, you can write vector of string. String is going to behave as a data type, so you can write like this. So what will happen? You will get a vector, and each entry of vector is basically a string. So each entry of vector is going to be a string. So this thing is much powerful than this 2D array, because you are using string and you are also using vector. So basically you have power of a string function, all the functions of string class, and you have power of all the function of the vector class. So let's see. So let us create a 2D array. So for creating the 2D array, we will always write like this, vector string v, and for pushing one element, what you have to do, you have to push a string. So let us push the content. So v dot pushback. Let's say I want to insert this string s. So v dot pushback, you can write s. Let us insert one more string. Let's say v dot pushback hello. And similarly you can print the content. So for printing the content, you just have to iterate over the vector. So I equals 0, I less than v dot size. So vector has size function, and then you can print the content. So v of I is actually a string. So let's see. Okay, so we have to include vector. So you can see ABC is this one S, and then we inserted hello. So vector of string is behaving as a 2D array. Okay, so what else can we do? So you are inserting the elements. You can also call the function sort. So when first you print this element, then let us sort. So how you will sort? V of I. So what is V of I? Is a string. So you will give V of I dot begin, and you will give V of I is a string. So you will give V of I dot end. And now let us print V of I again. Let's see what is the error. Sort was not declared in this scope. Okay, so this sort function, this inbuilt sort function is declared in algorithm library. So let us include that library also. Now let's run our program. So ABC, after sorting ABC, it is still ABC because the alphabets are sorted according to the lexicographical manners. So HELLO after sorting. So what is happening here? So first your string was ABC. So if you will sort ABC, then it will become ABC only, because A is less than B, B is less than C. So in this way the alphabets are getting sorted. Now if you want to sort hello, so which one is the smallest? So E is the smallest. So E will come at first, then H, then similarly L, L, and then O. So after sorting, hello will become this one. So basically you can sort your 2D array. What we are doing, we can sort our character 2D array. So if you want to sort your character 2D array, it will be difficult, but let's see, it is so much easy if you are using vector of string for creating a 2D array of characters. Now let's see some more functions of string. So we can take input. So for taking input, let us create one more string, string S3. So string S3, and we can take input. So say in S3, and let us also print S3. So it is waiting for my input. Let's say the input is coding and the output is coding. Let's run our program one more time. So again it is waiting for my input. Let's say the input is do space coding. But this time it is taking only do. So we have seen this problem before also. What is the problem? So the problem is due to cin. Cin is creating all the problems because cin will stop taking your input as soon as it will encounter space or tabs or basically new line character. So this is cin is the problem in this case. Now if you remember, what is the solution? So the solution is using the function cin.getLine. Now this function cin.getLine function takes 3 parameters as input. String name, the second one is size, and the third parameter is actually optional, which is delimiter, if you remember. Now in this case, so this was the situation when we were using character array. But here what we are using strings. So what I will write, cin.getLine S is basically my string. Now the third parameter is optional, but what about the second parameter? What about size? So this is the property of string class, that you do not know the size. Basically you can give anything as input. You do not have to worry about size. So basically I cannot use cin.getLine function. So let me show you. So instead of cin, so cin is wrong. If I will use cin.getLine function S3, now the second parameter is actually size, but we do not know the size. That is the property of the string class. That is the advantage of the string class. Basically you can give anything as input. You do not have to worry about size. You do not have to worry about null character. So that means I cannot use cin.getLine function. So for string class we have the function. We will write it like this: getLine, take input from cin, and put the input in S3. So this is the way for taking input of space kind. Basically spaces will be there. So I have to write like this: getLine, take input from Cin and put the input in S3. So let's see. Now this time if you will give input like do space coding, so our output is correct. Okay, so this is working now. So you have to use getLine and you can remember the syntax. It is very simple syntax. So you do not have to worry about the length of the string. You do not have to worry about the null character. So everything is working perfectly fine. Now you can treat strings as if it is an array. So what do I mean by array? So after taking the input, let us say I want to change my string. So I can write like this: S3 is, let's say it is ABC ABC. Let's say this is my new string. So what do I mean by array? So you can access it like this. What is the first character? What is the character present at the first index? So it will be B. So let's see. Okay, so it is waiting for my input. So do coding. Now the first character is actually B. Why it is B? Because after taking the input from the user, you are changing the value of S3. It is ABC ABC and the first character is actually B. So you can treat your strings like if it is an integer array, like it is an array. So it will ask me for the input again and again. So let us comment it out. And let us also comment out this line. Okay, so if you can access, that obviously mean you can change the value also. So let us change the value. So let us change the 0th character, the character present at 0 index. Let's say I want to make it D. So we can definitely do it. We can treat string as if it is an array. And now let us print S3. So the 0th character has been changed. It was initially A, now it is D. So DBC and ABC, you can see. So this is DBC and ABC. So my 0th character is now D. So what else can we do? So we can add two strings. So what is the meaning of two strings? What is the meaning of adding two strings? So let us create one more string, string S4, and you can write it like this: string 3 plus, so this is string S. So let's add these two strings. So string 3 plus string S. Do we have another string? Okay, so let's take it S2. So S4 is S3 plus S2. Now what will happen? So these two strings will get added and the output will be stored in string S4. So let us write it like this: cout S4, and let us also print S2 and S3. So S2 S3. So let's cut it from here and let's paste it here. Okay, so I'm using this plus operator to add string S3 and string S2. So this is your string S2, which is DEF, and this is your string S3. So this is ABC ABC. So let's see what will be our output. Okay, so let's comment it out. Let's remove string. Let's put this code above. So you are printing S2, you are printing S3, and you are printing S4. So what is S2? S2 is, you can see, DEF. So S2 is DEF, What is S3? So it is ABC, ABC, and you are changing the 0th character to D. So string S3 is actually D, BC, and ABC. And then what you are doing? So S3 plus S2. So this plus operator, what it will do? So S3 plus S2. So this plus operator will work as concatenation. So it will concatenate string S2 at the back of string S3. So this DEF will come at back of string S3. But what this plus operator will do, so it will add, it will find out the result and it will return the result. So the result is going to be stored in S4. So S3 and S2, so there will be no change for S3 and S2, you can see. So this is your S2, which is DEF, correct. This is your S3, which is DBC, ABC. So this is DBC and ABC, so it is correct. And this is your string S4. So string S4 is actually DBC, ABC, and then DEF will get appended, DEF. So this plus operator can concatenate two strings and there will be no effect on S3 and S2. So this plus operator will find out the result and it will return the result. And that result we are storing in string S4. Correct? So that is the power of string class. We can simply, with the help of this plus operator, we can just add two strings. So we can add two strings. We can also add multiple strings. So for example, you can write it hello. You can write it like this also. So let's see. So this is your output. This is your string S4. DBC, ABC, DEF, hello, space coding. So that is the power of string class. Now you can also write it like this. What you can do? So what you can do? Initially your string 4 is actually empty. It is an empty string. It is not containing anything. Then you can write it like this. S4 plus equals to. So I can also use this operator, plus equals to. So let's see. So this is your output. So see, you can use plus equals to operator also. Now what is happening in this situation? What you are doing, you are using plus equals to operator. So what is the meaning of this line? So S4 equals S4 plus S3 plus S2 plus, and then you have this very long string hello space coding. Now what is happening here? So this hello space coding will get appended after S2. Now the combined result of S2 plus hello coding will get appended at S3 behind the behind of S3, and the combined result of S3 plus S2 plus hello coding will get appended after S4, and S4 is actually empty string. So this is empty string. So we also have a function size. Let us try to print the size. So let us try to print the size. So cout, you can call size function. Let's say I want to call the size function on S4. So S4 dot size. Or you also have the function s dot length. So S4 dot length. So dot length and dot size, both the functions are same. They will give you the same output. So you can use any function. You can use size function or you can use length function. They both are same. So you can see 21 and 21. So this is 21 characters. So these are 21 characters. Okay, so what other functions do we have? We have one more function, and the name of that function is substring. So what you can do, S4 dot substring. So this substring function will take the index. So let's say I am giving index 3. So what this substring function will do? So suppose this is your string ABC ABC, and if you call the function s.substr, so substr means substring, and you will give the index. So I want to give the index 3. So what will happen? This is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, and this is index 3. So starting from index 3 till the end, it will give me everything. So it will give me ABC. This will be the output. Now if this is your string, let's say this is ABCD, and if you call the function s.substr, and if you will give index 0, so starting from index 0 till the end, it will give you the output. So the output will be ABCD. Starting from the index 0 till the last index, it will give you all the characters. So that is the meaning of substring. Okay, so let's check our substring function. So I'm calling substring function on S4. So starting from index 3 till the last index, it will give me all the characters. So let's see what will be our output. So the size is 21. Now what is index 3? So index 3 starts from A. So starting from A till the last, it is giving me everything. You can see it is starting from ABC, D, E, F, and then hello coding. So starting from index 3, I have given index 3 here. So starting from index 3 till the last index, it will give me all the characters. So it is giving me all the characters. Now there is one more variation of substring function. So what is the second variation? So in the second variation, what we will do? So in this, I am giving only one value as input. Now in the second variation, you will call the function substr. You will give the starting index and you will give me how many characters do I need. So here what I am doing, start from index 3 and give me 3 characters. So basically it will give you the character present at index 3. It will give you the character present at index 4. It will give you the character present at index 5, because the length has to be 3. Now for example, if you will call the function s.substr, so start giving me characters starting from index 0 and give me 2 characters. So the output of this line will be AB, because this is 0 character, this is 1 character, and so it will give you the character present at 0 index, the character present at 1 index, because I have to give only 2 characters because the length is 2. So AB will be my output. Now one more thing. So this substring function, it will not change my string. It will just return me the substring. So basically you can do something like this. S2 is s.substr 0, 2. So this substring function, it does not change the original string. In fact, it returns the new string. So let's see. So starting from the third character, starting from the third index, give me 5 characters. So let's see what will be our output. So this is the 5 characters starting from index 3. So A, B, C, D and E. Okay, so starting from index 3, give me the 5 characters. So it will give me the character present at index 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Simple. And what you can also do, so you can store the result in another string and you can print that string. So let us store the result in S5 and you can print S5. So basically this substring function, it will not change the original string. Simple. So let's test. Okay, so this is end line. So A, B, C, D, E. Perfect. Okay, so what other functions do we have? So we have one more function, find function. So basically what you can do, you will call the function find. So s4 dot find, and I want to find where is ABC present. I want to find where is ABC present in string s4. So how a find function works. So suppose this is your string. let's say this is DEF, ABC, ABC, and then again ABC. And if I call the function s.find ABC, so basically I want to find where is ABC present in this string. So ABC is present here, ABC is present here, ABC is present here. So this find function will return me an integer. So this integer is actually the index. So at index of A, where is this ABC present? So this ABC is present at multiple locations. So 0, 1, 2. So this is index 3. So ABC is present at index 3. So this is 4, 5, then 6, 7, 8. And then this is 9, 10 and 11. So this ABC string is present at 3 index. It is present at index 3. It is present at index 6. And it is present at index 9. So 3 times this string ABC is present. This find function will return me the first index, the index at which it will find the ABC first. So the output will be 3. Now if the string is, let's say, this is AB, then AB, then AC, and then ABC. So if this is the string and I call the function s.find string ABC, so what will be my output? So where is ABC present? So ABC is present here only. So the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it will return me 6. Correct? And if there are multiple locations at which the string is present, it will give me the index of the first location. So I am calling the find function. I want to find where is ABC present in string S4. So it will return me an integer. So ABC is present at index 3. So let's see. So this is the string S4. You can see ABC. So ABC is present at index 3. So that's why the output is index 3. Perfect. So what other functions do we have? We have a function toString. So for example, you have an integer A, let's say it is 123. Now you want to convert this integer into a string. So what you can do? So let us create a new string S6. So we have a function to_string. And we will give A as input. So it will return me the string. It will convert integer into string. And let us print S6. So this S6, this is S6. So 123 is now string 123. So I'm repeating myself. So this is 123 integer. This is 123 integer. Now you are applying a function toString, and toString function will take integer as input. So this toString function, it will take a integer as input. I am giving 123 and it will convert the integer into a string. So this is now string 123. Fine. So this is string 123. You can change the values also, because we can treat strings as if it is an array. So let us change the characters. So for example, I want to change the first index, the character present in the first index. Let's say it is 4 now. Because it is a string, so you have to give character 4, not integer 4. So this is character 4 now, and now let us also print S6 again. So 123 was my original string. Now I change 2 into 4. So 2 is now converted into 4. So we have a function toString. Similarly, we also have a function e2oi. So I am using A again. So this A is actually, we have a function e2oi. Now this e2oi function, it will take a string as input and it will return me the integer. So now let us print A. Okay, so I don't know in which library a2i function is present. So what I'm gonna do, So instead of these three, okay, this e2i function is not working. Okay, so for working of this e2i function, I think you have to write something like this: s6 dot c underscore str. Okay, so now it is working. So this e2i function, what it does is it converts the given string into an integer. So the e2i function, it will take an integer as input. So it will take a string as input. So I am giving s6. So I am giving 143, and it will return me integer 143. Okay. Now let's say if you want to insert elements. So you want to insert element in s6 in a string. So you can use pushback function just like in vector. So I want to push back. Let's say I want to push back 5. So 5 will get pushed. So let's run our program again. So 1435. Okay, so let us also print s6. Then we will print a. So after pushing 5, let us now print s6. So what is happening here? So this was your 123. Then toString function will convert 123 integer to 123 string. Then you are changing the first character to 4. So this will become 143. Then you are pushing 5. So this will become 1, 4, 3 and 5. You are printing s6. So 1435 is getting printed here. Then you are using e2oi function. So e2oi function will convert it into integer. So this is 1435, and then you are printing a. So a is getting printed 1435. So that is how everything is working. So we have also pushback function just like in vector. So you can see strings are much powerful than the character array. Now how the strings are working? So string, I told you, so string is actually a class. So string is actually a class, and in the implementation of this class, basically it is using character array. If you will see the implementation of the string class, internally it is using character array only. So I think I have covered many functions of a string. So if you have any doubt in any of these functions, you can ask me. I will share the code with you. So I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.